is story time. First, let's understand what the story is all about before we dive into the narration of the story. In a peaceful village, Ejike, a wealthy young man, finds himself torn between two voices. One is from his childhood friend, Dan, who reminds him of his responsibility to his mother and young sister. The other is from his cunning friend, Sam, who whispered in his ear, encouraging selfishness and greedy. Ejike's mother, a hard-working and loving woman, had given everything to raise him and his sister after the passing of their father. Despite her sacrifice, Ejike, now consumed by his wealth and the influence of Sam, began to abandon his family. He neglected his mother, who fell into deep sorrow as she watched her son drift further away, and his young sister, who is left without support. Dan constantly warned Ejike, urging him to return to his family and honor his mother, but Sam's influence proved stronger. The question remains, will Ejike realize the error of his way before it's too late, or will his mother's suffering continue in silence? Well, stay with me as I'm going to narrate the story. In the quiet village of Umokwe, life moved at a slow, steady pace. The villagers were known for their close-knit community, where everyone looked after one another. Among them lived a woman named Unoma, a widow who had worked tirelessly for years to provide for her two children, Ejike and Ada. Unoma's life had not been easy, but she found joy in her children's success, especially Ejike, who had grown into a wealthy and influential man in the city. Ejike had always been her pride. From a young age, he was determined and hardworking. After his father passed away, when Ejike was still a boy, Unoma took up the mantle of both mother and father, making sure her son and daughter never lacked. She sold everything she could: her farmland, her jewelry, even her prize sewing machine, just to see Ejike through school. It was all worth it when Ejike found success in the city, building a thriving business and amazing wealth beyond their imagination. However, as the year passed, Ejike's visit home became less frequent. He would send money, but the warmth and affection Unoma craved were missing. He had become distant, cold, and unfeeling toward his family, especially his mother, who had sacrificed so much for him. His sister Ada, younger by 6 years, was also neglected by Ejike. She was left in the village to care for their aging mother, shouldering responsibility that Ejike had forgotten. In the city, Ejike was surrounded by new friends, particularly Sam, a man who always had a smooth tongue and easy solution to life problems. Sam was cunning, always whispering in Ejike's ear about how family ties were a burden, how women, even mother, were always asking for more than they deserve. Your mother is draining you, Ejike, Sam would say. You are giving her enough. What more does she need? Sam's word began to take root in Ejike's heart. He stopped answering his mother's call and told Ada to handle everything in their village. His thoughts were clouded by Sam's influence, and the bond he once had with his family grew weaker with each passing day. But there was another voice in Ejike's life: his childhood friend Dan. Dan, unlike Sam, was a man of principle. He had known Ejike family for as long as he could remember. He admired Unoma's strength and dedication to her children. Every time they met, Dan would remind Ejike of the importance of family, Your mother raised you alone. Dan will say. She gave up everything for you. Don't forget where you came from. Ejike will listen to Dan's advice, but Sam's influence always seems to drown it out. Dan does not understand. Sam will say after every conversation, he's just jealous of your success. Do you want to go back to the village and live like a poor man? Blinded by pride and greedy, Ejike began to act out Sam's selfish advice. He started sending less money to the village and refused to support his mother when she fell ill. Ada, who just started her career as a teacher, struggling to take care of their mother on a mega salary. Unoma health wasn't, and she spent her day in quiet suffering, wondering what had happened to the son she had once known. One evening, Ada sent Ejike a message, pleading him to come home, for their mother's condition was there. Ejike ignored the message, consumed by his business meeting and the glamorous life he was living in the city. Sam, encouraging him to cut all ties with the village altogether. There will always be a burden, he said, focus on yourself. But one day, as Ejike sat in his lavish office, a letter arrived, not from his sister, but from Dan. The letter was brief but heavy with emotion. It read, Ejike, your mother's condition is worse than you know. She weeps every night, asking why you have abandoned her. She's your mother, the one who nurtured you when no one else could. If you continue down this path, her agony will be a result of your choice. Return home before it's too late. Reading the letter, Ejike felt a wave of guilt wash over him. Memory of his childhood came flooding back. His mother standing in the rain, selling vegetables just to buy him a new pair of shoes. Her hand worn and cracked from years of hard labor. Her soft voice encouraging him to dream big even when they had nothing. He had been so blinded, so consumed by some poisonous word. Suddenly, Ejike realized the depth of his mistake. He had neglected the one person who had stood by him all his life. In that moment of clarity, Ejike had a decision. He cancelled all his business meetings and immediately made his way to the village. When he arrived at the family house, the sight that greeted him broke his heart. His mother, frail and weak, lay on a simple mat on the floor. Her face got and her eye do with pain. Ada was by her side. Her face tired from months of caregiving. Ejike knelt by his mother's side, tears streaming down his face. Nne, I'm sorry. Ejike whispered, holding her mother's hand. I have been a terrible son. Please forgive me. Unoma looked at her son. A faint smile formed on her lip, despite her weakness. She placed her hand on his head, the way she used to when he was a boy. Ejike, my son, she said softly, I never stopped praying for you. I knew you would come back. Over the next few days, Ejike stayed by his mother's side, caring for her and helping Ada. He realized that no amount of wealth could replace the love and sacrifice of family. He severed ties with Sam and started listening to Dan, who helped him see the importance of balancing success with family responsibility. Although Unoma's health never fully recovered, she found peace in knowing her son had returned to her. Ejike's life, once filled with selfish pursuit, became centered on his family and community. He supported Ada's career and ensured his mother lived the rest of her day in comfort. The agony that once gripping Unoma had faded, replaced by the joy of his son's redemption. Moral of the story. The story of Ejike reminds us that no matter how successful we become, we must never forget the sacrifice made by those who love us. family, especially a mother love, is irreplaceable, and neglecting it can lead to irreversible regret. Watch out for part 2.